What is poppin', guys? It is your boy Ashley the Cat, and I am coming to you today with our IBA D2 Draft Analysis. So, I recently got accepted to the IBA D2. It is not upload required, but if you do upload, you get priority for D1, which is kind of what I'm aiming for. I'm trying to be in upload leagues, as I said in my update video, which 8 or 9 of you watched. So, anyway. It's a showdown league, and I wanted to use Pokemon that I haven't used as much. Obviously, I still did pick up Pokemon that I am familiar with because it's impossible, in my opinion, to win with a team of Mons you have absolutely never used before because you don't really know what they do or what they're capable of. But I'm really excited about this team and using it. I think it's got a lot of potential. Now, I cannot remember the exact order I drafted everything in, and it's put in the docs by tiers, so we're just going to go down it tier-wise. So let's go ahead and open up into our first pick, which is Jirachi. Now, I was super excited to get Jirachi. I think Jirachi is a really cool Pokemon, and it's really, I think, a good place to start building a team around. I mean, it's got base 100 stats all around. It's got good offensive presence. It's got good support moves. It gets Wish. It's got Rocks. I thought this was a really good pick just to start with because it's very easy to build around, which I'm super excited about. And that's why I themed my draft slides the way that they are with the space theme, is because Jirachi is that dude from space. So I was really excited about this pick, and I hope that I can do a lot of work with it. It is also one of my Z-Mons, which I will get to the others as we get there, but I'm super excited about this Mon in particular on the team. So next we picked up, we didn't pick up Gliscor next, but it is our next Pokemon here. This is tier 2. This is our first tier 2. It's got great defensive stats. It's got Defog if you don't run Poison Heal, and it's got amazing bulk if you do. So I really, really like this Pokemon. You can also run it offensively with Swords Dance and Earthquake, and I felt like it really tied the team together as ground type because a lot of the offensive ground types were going pretty quickly, and I had a good bit of other offensive Pokemon, so I felt like Gliscor would be a really good fit for my team and kind of help mitigate a ground weakness, which would become a common theme in my team. However, it does also add an ice weakness to my team, which, as you'll see as we go on, is a little bit freeze dry weak. But let's go ahead and look at Mimikyu. Mimikyu is our second Z-Mon. We do get 3. And Mimikyu is a Pokemon that I absolutely love in the draft format. Any Pokemon that you can pretty much guarantee a Swords Dance with is amazing. Plus it gets priority, which is unresisted by everything except for Dark and Normal. So I really thought Mimikyu was a great pick, and I think it works well with Jirachi as well. I think that those two will be a very threatening offensive presence because there's not a whole lot that can really hold up between a barrage of those two. And Mimikyu is another Pokemon that I really like to use. It's one I'm definitely familiar with. I ran one on my VGC team. Although that was a Trick Room variant, I do like normal Mimikyu as well. Although my team does have some slower Mons that could benefit from a Trick Room setup, as you'll see as we move through. So next up we have Tentacle. Tentacle gives me Rapid Spin. It gives me a fast poison type for opposing fairies, and it is really just all around a good Mon, I think. I was really happy picking this up in tier 3. I think that having Toxic Spikes is going to help my team a lot because Mimikyu and Jirachi can break a lot better if we've got some poison down on these boys. It's got a really good, I mean, it isn't that crowded 100 speed tier, but the thing that's great about that is that there's not a whole lot of defensive Pokemon that hang out in that 100 speed tier. So it's going to outspeed a lot of other defensive Pokemon. It's going to be able to pass off some status to a lot of the other team, and it gives me another option. So right off the bat, I already have Rapid Spin and Defog, which is really nice because hazards are always a problem. And with Rapid Spin, I'll be able to set up Toxic Spikes and Rapid Spin away their hazards. So I really like Tentacle for this team. Next up, we had Swampert. This is our second of 3 tier 3s. I really like Swampert because it gives me another Pokemon with Rocks so that it's not on the pressure of Jirachi and Gliscor. So right off the bat, you can see that our team is very hazard intensive. This team is going to be putting up the hazards, keeping the hazards on our side, and trying to barrel you down with our main offensive threats. I really like Swampert because it really does only have that one weakness to grass with fairly good defensive stats overall. It's got 100 HP, and with defense and special defense both tied at 90, you can kind of run it either way, wherever you need it to. Its attack is actually really good and lets you get some important hits off on things that are going to be coming in, and gives me another ground type to resist. So I don't know, man, I really like Swampert for this team. It's a Pokemon that I've used in draft format before, so adding a little bit of familiarity is pretty good, because at this point I've really only used Mimikyu a lot. Like all these other Pokemon, I've used Gliscor a fair bit too, but all these other Pokemon I haven't really used as much, so I wanted a little bit of familiarity, which you're going to see with my next tier 3 pick, Virizion. I had this in season 1 of the UBLN alongside Swampert, so I know that they have pretty good synergy together. Virizion has very good special defense and a pretty good speed. It outspeeds a lot of those base 100s, and the ability to run an attacking set or a special attacking set, which is super nice, and maybe even some mix sets if the EVs allow it. So I love this Pokemon. I think it did a great job in the first season of walling things like Keldeo and just Scalds and electric type attacks in general. I like that my team doesn't really have a whole lot of opportunity for Volt Switch, because it's got a lot of mons that resist Volt Switch as well as 2 ground types. So I really like that my team is going to be kind of forcing you to hard switch around all my hazards is the plan here, first and foremost. So let's go ahead and go into our only tier 4. We actually picked up 1 tier 4. So, oh, I'm sorry, no, we picked up 3 tier 4s. I was looking at the wrong thing. This is our first tier 4 in Hitmontop. Another mon I'm familiar with that gives me Intimidate. Another Rapid Spin mon. I get Priority. I get strong fighting type stat. I mean, 95 is not fantastic, but it's not horrible either. I'm really happy with how Hitmontop performs in my first season of the UBLN, so I figured I would just scoop it again. I really, yeah, I mean, I've talked about Hitmontop a lot before. Intimidate, Rapid Spin, Fighting Stab. That's really and Priority. That's the most important things you need to know about Hitmontop. So next up, we actually picked up another fighting type, but it's a fighting dark type. We have Scrafty. So I was really excited about getting a dark type for my team, but I kind of forgot to do it. I like dark types a lot. Most dark types Pokemon are in some of my favorite Pokemon, like Honchkrow, and I like Scrafty. But it's got Dragon Dance, which is one reason I picked it up. Just another person that can kind of break through and start laying down the hurt on people, as well as if I want to run it in a Trick Room environment, I can as well, with Mimikyu and Swampert and Hitmontop. Although Hitmontop is a little bit speedy, I've got some more Pokemon down here that can maybe help me out a little bit. I liked having a little bit stronger Fighting Stab with Dragon Dances up. And I don't know, man, I like the pick for Scrafty for my team. Although, a little bit of a spoiler alert, I just recently decided to drop Scrafty for Zoroark, which I may do talk about more in my week 2 video, because I can't use it until week 2. But I liked Scrafty a lot for this team, but I looked at my draft plan and realized that I had enough points to pick up Zoroark over Scrafty. So I felt like I should use those points and get me a Pokemon that's going to help blend with my team. Because again, I can disguise myself as one of these wall breakers, get you to switch out into your wall, and then just absolutely blow it up. Unfortunately, I already had all the slides made, and the way that my photo editing program works, it crashes every time I try and save a project, so I have to do all these slides independently. So I wouldn't be able to replicate these slides accurately. So unfortunately, I don't have a slide for Zoroark, but the idea was the same, of having a nice dark type with pretty good coverage to come in and do what dark types do, lay down status if they need to, absolutely just take people by surprise with coverage moves, which Zoroark will be very good at. But we've talked a lot about Scrafty. Let's go on to our next pick, Vikavolt. So as you can tell, my team kind of has a good bit of a ground weakness. We've got Jirachi and Tentacle, as well as one other Pokemon that I haven't, or 2 other Pokemon that I haven't talked about yet. My next 2 Pokemon are both weak to ground. So looking at all the electric types left, I was like, damn, man, I really don't have much of a choice as far as electric types go, because adding one that doesn't levitate or flying is going to absolutely add a detrimental ground weakness to my team. So I looked over, the Thundurus T was available, Vikavolt was available, and Emolga was available. And I wasn't ready quite to dip into the heat that is Emolga, and Thundurus T, while it's a Pokemon that I'm very, very familiar with, would have had to have me sacrificing some of the other Mons I've already drafted. So I went with Vikavolt, and it's got an insane special attack. I think it's going to be a great wall breaker for this team, and I really cannot praise this Pokemon highly enough. I really, really like Vikavolt, and I haven't used it barely at all, but I'm really excited about using it in the draft format. And I anticipate that this thing will take a lot of people by surprise. Also, I think it gets Volt Switch. I cannot remember. I'm fairly certain it gets Volt Switch. So that does give me a little bit of Volt Switch, as well as with U-Turn on Jirachi and Gliscor. But I don't anticipate that being a huge thing. But it will be able to give me some Switch initiative with this Pokemon, and again, as I said, it's got pretty mediocre stats all around, but that's only because its special attack is an absolute nuke. So let's go ahead and look at our last tier. Well, this is our tier 5 pick. This was Croghan. This was another Pokemon that would give me a ground weakness and counter, seeing as it's got a really good speed tier, being able to outspeed a lot of those base 100s. And it gets access to Freeze Dry, which is really nice considering that Vikavolt is not the fastest Pokemon, so Pokemon like Milotic that can recover and stuff like that are going to be a little bit of a problem for it. I really am a huge fan of this pick. It's a tier 5. I haven't used it much, but it does give me another Rapid Spinner if I need to. Even though I think I have good enough Rapid Spinners already, the option is there. It gets lots of very strong Ice-type moves. It's only got a 95 base special attack, but I see this as being more of an Ice-type switch-in with its really nice 135 special defense and 80 HP. This is going to be able to switch into a lot of things like the Lowland Ninetales or possibly like Ice Beam coverage moves that I see coming from different Pokemon, or HP Ices and things like that. This is going to be a great switch into. So I thought this was a good pick for my team, and it really helped tie everything together. So now we are going to take a look at my Mega Pokemon, one that I am very excited to use for the first time in draft format, Mega Charizard X. So this is a beast of a Pokemon. It's got very good attack stat, very good special attack stat, although with its ability and Swords Dance and stuff like that, and Dragon Dance, you should probably just be running it on the attack side. But hey, that special attack option is always there at 130. It is not bad at all. It isn't that crowded 100 base speed tier, but with the access to Dragon Dance, this Pokemon can start outspeeding things fairly quickly. It's got really good typing with Dragon Fire, and I really just cannot say enough about how much I like this Pokemon. I think it's going to be a great sweeper for this team, and I think it really fits well with all of the different... I mean, hopefully it won't be taking rocks damage, seeing how many opportunities I have to take it up with Defog and Rapid Spin. I'm super big on this Pokemon, and I think it fit very well with this team. I definitely didn't draft it last, I can tell you that, but I think it was like maybe around 3 or 4. But this whole team is kind of built around supporting this Megazord X, supporting Jirachi, and supporting Mimikyu in sweeping, because those guys can take out a lot of threats, and anything they can't, I'm sure one of these other mons that I have with coverage can do it as well. We've got a lot of good wall breakers, we've got some setup mons, we've got good hazard support, and overall, man, I really like this team. I think it fits me very well. I like all of these Pokemon. Like, I've always thought Croghan was very cool. Gliscor is such a cool mon. Vikavolt was one of my favorite Gen 7 mons that I never really got to use because of how late it evolves. Jirachi is one of my favorite mythicals. My favorite sword is Sword of Justice, is Virizion. I got some cool Gen 1 mons like Tentacle, or I guess one Gen 1 mon like Tentacle. Swampert was my first playthrough of Sapphire in like 4th grade was with Swampert. Well, I'm not gonna sit here and say each region I like every single Pokemon. I like all these Pokemon. I think the team works very well together, and I think it's gonna be very intimidating to other teams because there are very few offensive threats, but they're surrounded. I mean, let me rephrase that. There are only 3 or 4 very strong, potent offensive threats, but they're surrounded by a good cast of characters to help get chipped through hazards, keep hazards off of our side of the field, and generally just lay nice coverage damage on everything that could possibly be a wall to my main sweepers. So I really like this team. I'm super excited about where it's going, and I hope y'all stick around to watch it. We're going to be having our UBLN draft analysis going up soon, as well as the WTF, the World Trainer Federation. That draft is happening Saturday, I think, the 26th. Yes, it is happening Saturday the 26th. So hopefully the UBLN will be up sometime this week. We are currently in round, I think, 2, or we just started round 3. So who knows how long that's going to be. But thank you all for stopping by and watching my content. You know, obviously fuck with all the people that are subscribed. The subscriber rate's been coming up a little bit lately, which is really cool. We're about to break 30, which is awesome because it seems like just yesterday I started the channel with 0. So I really appreciate all the support. If you guys will like and comment and subscribe and all the bullshit, you know how it goes. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. I love getting comments on the channel. So I really appreciate y'all stopping by and keep coming back, man. We're having a lot of fun here, and I hate for you to miss out on it. Y'all have a good one.